We often think that wealth is built from money, resources, or connections, but in truth, it begins with something far more powerful: the mind. Before you can ever achieve financial abundance or professional success, you must first develop a mindset that attracts it. Your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes towards success are the foundation of every achievement you will ever build. The richest people in the world are not those who simply have more money. They are the ones who have trained their minds to think differently, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to stay persistent when others give up, and to believe in possibilities that others call impossible. The difference between success and failure often lies in how you think when challenges come. A person with a wealthy mindset sees failure as part of learning, while someone with a poor mindset sees it as the end. This difference in thinking creates a gap wider than any financial divide. When your brain is trained to see challenges as opportunities to grow, your actions automatically align with success. You stop waiting for luck or external help, and instead, you begin to create your own opportunities. The truth is, before the world believes in you, you must first believe in yourself. No investor, company, or customer will trust your vision if you don't trust it yourself. A success-oriented mindset starts with self-belief, the unshakable confidence that your dreams are worth pursuing. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they doubt themselves. They give up at the first sign of difficulty because their minds are not prepared to endure discomfort. Training your brain for wealth means programming it to persist when others quit. It means replacing the voice of fear with the voice of courage. Every successful person started with uncertainty, but they trained their minds to focus on the goal rather than the obstacles. If you learn to do this, you have already taken the first major step towards success. Another key part of the right mindset is gratitude and positive focus. When your mind constantly complains or focuses on what is missing, you attract scarcity. But when you focus on possibilities and gratitude, you attract abundance. The brain works like a magnet. Whatever you think about most often, you bring into your life. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't afford this," or "I'll never be successful," your brain accepts that as truth and stops looking for ways to change it. But when you say, "How can I afford this?" or "What can I do to become successful?" your brain starts searching for solutions. The difference between those two questions is the difference between poverty and prosperity. A strong mindset also requires discipline. You cannot build wealth or success with a lazy mind. You must train your brain to focus deeply, manage distractions, and delay gratification. This means learning to say no to small pleasures today for greater rewards tomorrow. It means waking up earlier, learning new skills, and pushing your limits even when you don't feel like it. Success is a mental muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Discipline is what separates dreamers from doers. Your brain must be conditioned to stay committed long after the excitement has faded. Surrounding yourself with the right environment also shapes your mindset. If you spend your time with people who constantly complain, criticize, or give up, your brain will absorb their habits. But if you surround yourself with positive, driven people who talk about ideas and growth, your thinking begins to rise to their level. Your environment is your silent teacher. It either pushes you forward or holds you back. Choose wisely who influences your mind, because that influence will ultimately shape your destiny. Most importantly, training your brain for wealth means developing emotional resilience. Life will test you. You will fail, face rejection, and doubt yourself many times. But those moments are when your mindset matters most. A weak mind breaks under pressure. A strong mind adapts and evolves. Learn to see every obstacle as a lesson. Every no brings you closer to a was. Every failure teaches you something about what doesn't work, and that knowledge is priceless. Your ability to stay calm, positive, and persistent in the face of uncertainty determines how far you go. In the end, wealth is not just about how much money you make, but about the kind of person you become in the process. The mind of a wealthy person is built on confidence, discipline, gratitude, and service. When you train your brain to think in possibilities rather than limitations, to see value instead of problems, and to persist instead of quit, success becomes inevitable. So remember, before you chase wealth, train your mind. Because money follows mindset, always. Failure is often seen as something to avoid, something that brings shame, disappointment, or even fear. But in truth, failure is one of life's greatest teachers. Every successful person has walked through the doors of failure before reaching the halls of success. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey toward it. When we embrace failure as a lesson instead of a punishment, we unlock the most powerful form of growth. Comfort teaches us nothing new, it only keeps us safe. But failure forces us to think differently, to adapt, and to rise stronger than before. When we live in comfort, our minds become dull. We repeat the same actions, make the same decisions, and avoid taking risks because we fear the pain of losing. Comfort zones are like golden cages. They feel safe, but they quietly trap your potential. Success requires stepping outside that comfort into the unknown where mistakes and failures wait. Yet, it's there, in those uncertain moments, that innovation and growth happen. Every great invention, business, or breakthrough was born from a series of failures that taught valuable lessons. Comfort may bring temporary peace, but only failure brings lasting wisdom. Failure is not something to be ashamed of. It's a reflection that you are trying, learning, and evolving. The people who never fail are usually the ones who never try anything meaningful. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall countless times before taking their first steps, but they never see falling as failure. They see it as part of learning. Somewhere along the way, as we grow older, we forget that truth. Society teaches us to avoid mistakes, to fear failure, to play safe. But in doing so, we stop growing. To train your brain for wealth and success, you must reprogram it to welcome failure as feedback, not defeat. Every setback hides a lesson. Every rejection carries a message. When something doesn't go your way, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" The most successful individuals in history didn't succeed because they were lucky. They succeeded because they learned quickly from their failures. They collected lessons from every mistake and used them as stepping stones to climb higher. When something fails, it simply means that one way didn't work. It doesn't mean you can't succeed. Failure eliminates what doesn't work, guiding you closer to what does. Learning from failure also trains emotional strength, a quality far more valuable than intelligence or talent. When you fail and choose to stand up again, you develop resilience. You teach your mind that defeat is temporary, that it cannot control your destiny. The more you recover from failure, the less fear controls you. This emotional power gives you the courage to take bigger risks, make bolder decisions, and chase greater goals. Most people stop after their first or second setback because they take failure personally. But those who truly succeed treat failure like a mentor, someone strict but honest, showing them where they need to improve. Failure also builds humility. When you experience loss or rejection, it reminds you that success is never guaranteed. This humility keeps your ego in check and makes you more open to learning. Many people stop growing because they believe they already know enough. Failure crushes that illusion and pushes you to keep learning. It refines your character, teaches patience, and gives you empathy for others facing similar struggles. Without failure, success often leads to arrogance. With failure, success becomes meaningful because you understand what it took to earn it. Another hidden gift of failure is creativity. When your first plan doesn't work, your mind begins searching for new ways to solve the problem. Some of the world's best innovations were born out of failure. When you are comfortable, you have no reason to change. But when failure forces you into a corner, creativity becomes your only option. This is where your brain learns to think differently, to connect ideas, and to push limits. The moment you stop fearing failure, you start discovering what you're truly capable of. To train your brain for success, you must make failure your ally. Reflect on your mistakes, don't run from them. Write down what went wrong, what you learned, and how you can improve. This process rewires your brain to see failure as a normal part of growth. Over time, you begin to feel less afraid of making mistakes because you understand that every failure is progress in disguise. The faster you learn from it, the faster you grow. In the end, comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you must be willing to fail again and again until success has no choice but to appear. Each failure brings you closer to mastery, clarity, and strength. So don't hide from your mistakes. Study them, respect them. Let them shape you into someone wiser, sharper, and more resilient. Remember, comfort may keep you safe, but failure will make you unstoppable. One of the most powerful ways to train your brain for wealth and success is to develop a long-term vision. In a world that celebrates speed, instant gratification, and overnight success, it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing quick money and short-term wins. But real success, the kind that lasts, is never built overnight. It grows through patience, consistency, and a clear vision that looks far beyond the present moment. The difference between people who build lasting wealth and those who only make temporary gains lies in how far into the future they can see and plan. A long-term vision means thinking in decades, not days. It means making decisions today that will create value not just for yourself, but for generations to come. Many people focus only on what they can earn right now, what feels comfortable today, or what will bring them quick satisfaction. But this mindset limits growth. The truly successful train their minds to see the bigger picture. They are willing to sacrifice comfort now for prosperity later. They understand that time is the most powerful multiplier, and that every small, consistent effort compounds into something far greater in the long run. When you think long term, your goals shift from what can I get to what can I build. You stop looking for shortcuts and start focusing on strategy. You become more patient with results, more thoughtful in planning, and more focused on creating real value. This mindset changes everything from how you work to how you make decisions. For example, a person chasing quick profits might spend money impulsively or jump from one job or business idea to another, hoping to hit it big. But someone with long-term vision invests their time and resources wisely. They build skills, relationships, and assets that continue to grow even when they're not looking. The reason most people never achieve wealth or lasting success is because they quit too early. They want instant results. They plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. But wealth grows like a tree. It starts small, it takes time, and it requires patience and care. A long-term thinker understands that the effort you make today might not pay off immediately, but it will build the foundation for future success. Every book you read, every skill you master, every relationship you nurture adds to your long-term value. The mind trained for long-term vision doesn't seek fast results, it seeks meaningful progress. Having a long-term vision also helps you make smarter decisions. When your brain is trained to think ahead, you become more strategic. You weigh risks carefully, plan for setbacks, and stay calm during storms. Short-term thinkers panic when things go wrong. Long-term thinkers see challenges as temporary and necessary parts of the journey. They don't chase trends, they create them. They know that the real rewards come to those who can stay focused while others are distracted. Another benefit of long-term vision is that it keeps you disciplined. When you have a clear picture of what you want your life to look like 10 or 20 years from now, your daily actions start to align with that vision. You waste less time on unimportant things. You stop comparing your progress to others because you know your journey is unique. This kind of focus protects your energy and keeps your mind sharp. Every successful person you admire today once made decisions that seemed boring or difficult at the time, but they kept going because they could see beyond the present. Developing long-term vision also requires emotional maturity. It means resisting the temptation of instant gratification, something that our modern world constantly encourages. Social media, trends, and advertisements all push us to want more faster. But the truth is, anything worthwhile takes time. Training your brain to think long-term is an act of self-control. It means telling yourself, I'm willing to wait for something greater. That kind of mindset builds both patience and resilience, two essential qualities for wealth and success. Moreover, long-term thinkers don't just think about personal gain, they think about impact. They ask, how will what I'm doing today affect others tomorrow? The richest and most respected individuals in history are those who built something that outlived them. Companies, ideas, systems, and values that benefited others long after they were gone. When your vision includes the next generation, your purpose becomes deeper and your motivation becomes unstoppable. To develop a long-term vision, start by setting goals that go beyond money. Think about the kind of person you want to become, the skills you want to master, and the legacy you want to leave. Then, break that vision into smaller milestones. Each step you take brings you closer to your bigger dream. Train your brain to see progress, not perfection. Remind yourself that success is a marathon, not a sprint. In the end, wealth and success are not the results of luck or timing. They are the results of thinking ahead. People who think in days chase paychecks. People who think in decades build empires. So stop asking, how fast can I get there? And start asking, how far can I go? When you train your brain to think long term, you stop living for the moment and start building for the future. And that's when real success begins. In today's rapidly changing world, adaptability has become one of the most important forms of intelligence. It is no longer enough to simply know something. What truly matters is how quickly you can learn, unlearn, and relearn as the world evolves. The pace of technology, global markets, and social change is faster than ever before. What works today might be outdated tomorrow. In such a world, the ability to adapt, adjust your mindset, skills, and strategies becomes your greatest advantage. Those who can change with change not only survive but thrive. Adaptability begins with flexibility of the mind. It's about being open to new ideas, new systems, and new ways of thinking. Many people resist change because it makes them uncomfortable. They prefer stability and familiarity, the comfort of what they already know. But comfort can be dangerous. It makes us blind to innovation and limits our potential. If you cling too tightly to the past, you will be left behind by the future. The world rewards those who stay curious, who keep learning, and who are willing to question what they once believed. Being adaptable doesn't mean being inconsistent or uncertain. It means being smart enough to recognize when a new approach is needed. It means having the courage to admit that something no longer works and the wisdom to find something better. The most intelligent people are not those who have all the answers, but those who are always willing to ask new questions. They don't see change as a threat, they see it as a chance to grow. When you train your brain to adapt, you prepare yourself to stay relevant no matter how much the world evolves. Every major success story in history has adaptability at its core. Businesses that refuse to evolve disappear, no matter how strong they once were. Think of companies that ignored new technology because they believed their old ways were enough. Many of them no longer exist. On the other hand, those that embraced change, reinvented themselves, and learned new models continue to lead the world. The same applies to people. Those who continuously learn new skills and evolve with changing industries become unstoppable. Adaptability, therefore, is not just a survival skill, it is the key to long-term success and wealth. To develop adaptability, you must first learn the art of unlearning. This may sound strange, but often what stops us from growing is not what we don't know. It's what we think we already know. Many people hold on to outdated beliefs, old habits, and traditional ideas that no longer serve them. They resist new information because it challenges their comfort zone. But if you want to keep progressing, you must be willing to let go of the old to make space for the new. Unlearning is about questioning your assumptions, updating your knowledge, and staying mentally flexible. The world is always changing, so should you. Relearning is equally important. The ability to relearn means refreshing your understanding and upgrading your skills regularly. Even if you are good at something today, there's always a better way to do it tomorrow. Successful people never stop being students. They read, explore, and experiment continuously. They don't say, "I already know this." Instead, they ask, "What can I learn from this now?" This humble mindset keeps them sharp and prepared for anything. In contrast, those who think they know everything eventually fall behind. Adaptability also requires emotional intelligence. Change often brings uncertainty, and uncertainty brings fear. When things don't go as planned, an adaptable mind stays calm and looks for solutions instead of complaining or panicking. It understands that every challenge is temporary and that flexibility leads to breakthroughs. Emotionally strong people don't fight change, they flow with it. They adapt not just their plans but also their attitude. This emotional stability is a sign of true intelligence. Because success is not only about what you know, but also how you handle what you don't know. Another important part of adaptability is creativity. When you encounter unexpected situations, the ability to think creatively helps you find new paths forward. Adaptable thinkers are problem solvers. They see multiple possibilities where others see only barriers. This creativity allows them to pivot quickly, to turn failures into lessons and setbacks into opportunities. For them, every obstacle is an invitation to innovate. In our digital age, where industries can transform overnight, adaptability has become a kind of currency. The people who can quickly learn new technologies, master emerging tools, and adjust to new environments are the ones who stay ahead. Whether in business, career, or personal life, adaptability ensures that no change can break you. Instead of fearing the future, you begin to shape it. To train your brain for adaptability, develop habits that keep you learning. Read widely, challenge your assumptions, and step into situations that push you out of your comfort zone. Take up new skills, even those unrelated to your current work. Travel, meet people from different backgrounds, and expose yourself to new perspectives. Each experience strengthens your ability to adjust and evolve. The goal is not to be perfect, but to stay prepared. In the end, adaptability is the new intelligence. The world doesn't reward those who are the strongest or the smartest in theory. It rewards those who can evolve the fastest. So train your mind to stay curious, flexible, and fearless in the face of change. The more adaptable you become, the more unstoppable you are. Because in a world that never stops changing, your ability to adapt is your greatest form of wealth. One of the most powerful principles for building wealth and success is simple yet deeply transformative: serve before you earn. In today's fast-paced world, many people chase money without realizing that money is not the starting point, it is the result. True wealth is not created by asking, "How can I make more money?" but by asking, "How can I help more people?" The individuals and companies that dominate industries do so because they focus on value first, profit later. They solve real problems, improve lives, and create impact, and money naturally follows. When you shift your focus from earning to serving, you activate a mindset that attracts lasting success. Serving before earning means putting contribution above compensation. It means training your brain to think about giving value before expecting rewards. Most people get this backward. They want the reward first, and then they might think about adding value. But success works in reverse. The world doesn't pay you for what you want, it pays you for the problems you solve. Every successful business and individual has one thing in common: they identify a need and provide a meaningful solution. Whether it's a product, a service, or a skill, success grows in proportion to how much value you bring to others. Think about some of the world's greatest entrepreneurs, innovators, and leaders. They didn't start by asking how to make money, they started by asking how to make a difference. Their focus was on improving systems, making life easier, saving time, or creating joy for others. When they succeeded at doing that, money came automatically. The reason this principle works so powerfully is because people and markets naturally reward those who serve. When you become a person of value, wealth and opportunities begin to chase you. Serving others also builds trust, one of the most valuable currencies in life and business. When you serve sincerely, people feel it. They sense your authenticity and begin to believe in you. Trust is the foundation of all great relationships, and relationships are the foundation of success. Money might open doors, but trust keeps them open. When you focus on serving, you create emotional connections that last far longer than financial transactions. Whether you're an employee, entrepreneur, or student, the key to growth is to ask, how can I make others' lives better through what I do? Another reason serving before earning is so powerful is because it transforms your mindset. When you focus only on earning, your thinking becomes narrow. You start to see everything in terms of what's in it for me. But when you focus on serving, your vision expands. You start to see opportunities everywhere, because the world is full of problems waiting to be solved. This shift trains your brain to think creatively and strategically. Instead of chasing money, you begin to attract it because you're constantly creating value that people need and appreciate. Service also builds character. It teaches humility, patience, and empathy, qualities that money alone can never buy. When you focus on helping others succeed, you grow as a person. You begin to understand the struggles and desires of people around you, which helps you design better solutions. You start seeing your work not just as a job, but as a mission. This sense of purpose fuels your motivation, especially during tough times. Money may give you comfort, but purpose gives you strength. And purpose is what sustains success over the long run. It's also important to understand that service doesn't always mean charity. Serving others doesn't mean giving everything away for free. It means offering genuine value. For example, a teacher serves by educating minds, a business owner serves by solving customer problems, and a leader serves by guiding people toward growth. When you focus on serving first, your reputation grows. People begin to talk about your work, recommend you, and bring more opportunities your way. In time, your service becomes your brand, and that brand becomes your wealth. Serving before earning also prepares you for leadership. Great leaders are not those who demand loyalty, but those who inspire it through service. They lead by example, showing care and respect for their teams, customers, and communities. They know that when others grow, they grow too. When you help others win, your success becomes inevitable. Leadership, after all, is simply service in action, the ability to create success for others while walking the same path yourself. To apply this principle in your life, start small. Look for ways to add value wherever you are. If you're an employee, don't just do what's expected, do a little more. If you're a student, help your peers learn. If you run a business, focus on improving your customers' experience. These small acts of service build habits of excellence that compound over time. When you make serving others your natural way of thinking, you stop worrying about money, because money starts worrying about you. In the end, wealth and success are not measured by how much you take, but by how much you give. Serving before earning is not just a principle for business, it's a way of life. It reminds us that every great achievement starts with helping others achieve theirs. The most successful people in the world didn't chase wealth, they created it by serving. So if you want to train your brain for real success, start by asking not, how can I get more? But how can I give more? Because when you make serving others your mission, wealth becomes your natural reward. The journey to wealth and success is not for the faint-hearted. It is filled with uncertainty, risk, and moments of deep doubt. Many people believe that intelligence, education, or talent are the main keys to success, but the truth is, your emotions will decide far more than your qualifications ever will. Emotional strength, the ability to stay calm, focused, and resilient in the face of challenges is what separates those who succeed from those who give up halfway. Building wealth and achieving lasting success require not only a sharp mind but also a strong heart. Emotional strength begins with self-control. In a world driven by distractions, instant gratification, and stress, your ability to manage your emotions determines your consistency. You may have the best ideas, the highest intelligence, or the greatest opportunities, but if you lose control whenever life gets hard, you'll never reach your full potential. Success is not about how you feel. It's about what you do despite how you feel. There will be days when you're tired, discouraged, or uncertain, but emotional strength means showing up anyway. It's the discipline to take action when your motivation fades and the courage to keep believing when the results are slow. Every successful person has faced moments of fear, frustration, and failure. They didn't reach the top because everything went smoothly. They got there because they learned how to handle the emotional storms that came their way. Rejection, criticism, and setbacks are inevitable on the path to success. Most people quit not because the journey is impossible, but because they allow their emotions to overwhelm them. Emotional strength is about training your mind to respond, not react. When others panic, you stay composed. When others lose hope, you look for a lesson. When others blame circumstances, you take responsibility. This kind of emotional discipline makes you unstoppable. To build emotional strength, you must first understand your emotions instead of running away from them. Most people try to suppress negative emotions like fear, anger, or anxiety, but emotions are signals. They tell you what's happening inside you. Instead of ignoring them, observe them. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And what can I learn from this feeling? Emotional awareness helps you control your reactions and make rational decisions even under pressure. Wealth and success demand clear thinking, especially when things don't go as planned. By understanding your emotions, you gain power over them instead of letting them control you. Another key part of emotional strength is resilience, the ability to bounce back after failure. Success rarely happens in a straight line. You will face rejection, lose money, and encounter unexpected problems. Each failure tests not your skills but your spirit. Resilience means using every fall as a stepping stone, not a grave. Emotionally strong people don't see failure as the end, they see it as feedback. They ask, what went wrong? And how can I improve next time? This mindset turns pain into power. Over time, every setback becomes a lesson that shapes your growth and maturity. Emotional strength also comes from patience. In a world obsessed with speed, patience is rare, yet it is essential. Building wealth and success takes time. There will be long periods where you work hard and see no visible results. This is when emotional strength truly matters. Many people give up right before the breakthrough because they cannot tolerate the waiting. Emotionally strong individuals, however, understand that growth happens in silence. They keep going, trusting that their effort will pay off in time. Patience trains your emotions to stay steady when results are slow, and that steadiness is what eventually brings success. Furthermore, emotional strength requires detachment from external validation. When your self-worth depends on others' opinions, your emotions will rise and fall with every compliment or criticism. To achieve real success, you must develop internal validation, a sense of confidence that comes from within. You must learn to say, I believe in my vision, even if others don't. This inner confidence protects you from doubt and keeps you grounded through both praise and rejection. The most successful people are not those who seek approval, but those who stay true to their purpose regardless of public opinion. Another essential aspect of emotional strength is maintaining balance. Ambition is important, but without emotional stability, ambition can turn into burnout. Taking care of your mental and emotional well-being is not a weakness, it's a strategy. Regular reflection, meditation, or even simple moments of gratitude help you recharge and stay focused. Emotional strength doesn't mean suppressing feelings or pretending to be tough. It means managing your energy wisely and knowing when to rest, reflect, and renew. Finally, emotional strength gives you the power to lead others. People are naturally drawn to those who stay calm under pressure. Whether you're running a business, managing a team, or building a dream, your ability to control your emotions inspires confidence in others. When you remain stable, others feel safe. Emotional strength turns you into a source of strength for everyone around you. In the end, wealth and success are not built on luck or even pure intelligence. They are built on emotional mastery. The stronger your emotions, the clearer your mind becomes, and the more consistent your actions will be. Emotional strength allows you to keep moving forward when everyone else stops. It gives you the patience to build slowly, the resilience to recover quickly, and the courage to dream boldly. So, if you truly want to train your brain for wealth and success, start by strengthening your emotions, because your heart must be stronger than your circumstances.